can't think about trading as a competition because then you're bringing a competitive mindset into an area where you have to learn how to lose.
Even college is like 4 years, 5 years. So even if it takes 4 years to become a consistent profitable, it's fine.
It's worth it.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Next Gen Traders YouTube channel. Today is episode 4. I'm Lance, and I'm here with Xander, Josh, and Alex. Today, we're just going to talk about how our week's going, get into a little bit more of a personal dive into how we're doing personally. Then we're going to talk about the OTC and listed market conditions. We're going to go over some trades, some notes that we took, and our mindset. Then after that, we're going to follow into a quick open discussion, talk about whatever's on our mind. And then after that, we're just going to talk about our current plans for the week. So without further ado, we're just going to start talking about how our week is going. So whoever wants to start it off can go right ahead.
Yeah, so this week just been, emotionally good. I've been following my process and executing really well. So I don't have much to say, but I'm just fine-tuning my trading and like my entries, exits, fine-tuning them, and also fine-tuning my emotions on how I should react to certain situations. So that's pretty much it.
Trying to focus on getting my emotions in check, trying to adapt to the market the best I can because it's super important. If I've made a lot of a transition to paying a lot more attention to listed stocks than I used to, so that's important for me to adapt to what's hot right now. Took a little bit of a mind break this weekend. I went camping with a few friends, so still got my study time in. I didn't cop out of my study time, but it's important to every once in a while have those breaks that will benefit your trading instead of getting overburnt. So yeah, that's about it.
So for me, as you all know, I'm in different time zone right now, and to be honest, this is the worst time zone ever for me personally, because just like all this time zone affected me in a way that, like, I don't want to say lazy, but like I'm not doing the things that I used to do when I was in my in California time, right? When I wake up, I don't feel the emotions that go, and I don't know why, but it's all that weird. Even when I trade, like this week I made zero trades, and I really think it all depends on the emotional state. Like I trade less, and the only positive thing here that I spend more time with my friends. That like in 2 years, like I've never when I go for example go play soccer with my friends, I don't really think about like going to like something because I just want to like enjoy, and plus it's a summer, so there's not like, if it was winter, no, I would just be at home all the time. So that's a little good thing here, and just sometimes it just feels so good to spend time doing other things not related to trading. So yeah, anyways, I'm still trying to get used to this time zone because I have like more than a month here, so I'm not gonna just waste all this time. So I'll try to find some way to get back on the path and start grinding back.
Yeah, so for me, I just paper traded this week. My losses have been bigger than my gains for the past 2 weeks, so I'm just gonna go back to the basics, hold longer if necessary, get my patience in check, and probably do this for another 2 weeks, and we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Awesome. All right, Xander, you want to get started with the listed market?
Yeah, so on the listed market, we haven't really, like, we've been at a standstill, and that's good. Like, not standstill, we've been like at a steady hot. So like we're getting these day one gappers pretty frequently. Like I'd say 3 to 4 every single day that are like pretty good for setups, and they've provided a lot of opportunity. And with only 3 day trades, you can only take advantage of so much. But of course, like it's been great listed market so far.
So on the OTC market, it's still pretty slow. But we do have some runners. Like I'll talk about in the trades. We have some multi-day breakouts. They're all like setting up that I was talking about in the previous episode. like only the breakouts, like this is the only pattern that I see working right now. Nothing else is working. Like we're all watching the panics. They just don't bounce like they used to. Same goes with first green day. So the only thing I'm watching is the breakouts. Yeah, and that's the only thing in OGCs. You just have to wait for them. Like you have to wait for the first run and then like watch this consolidation time. This patience. Yeah,
And
that's
the
the
swiss
only
will
thing
break
here.
out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
patience is
so,
key.
yeah.
All right, well,
Nice.
I guess I'll get into my trades and then we can go on to Lance after me.
right.
So yeah, I'll recap or I'll just show you guys what I was able to do this week so far. Can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, so this is just like a recap of my week. What was the
Nice dip.
22nd? Yeah, by the dip though. So on Tuesday, I did have I did have another loss. But again, this one was literally just playing the process, trading the process. Like you see, I got 2 more gains after that. I mean, statistically, I don't have the stats yet to back it up because I haven't traded enough. But over the next 2-3 weeks, you'll see that I have the process will show
Nice.
that it's profitable. And so yeah, let me go over my first trade, Wish. Yeah, so I think I was playing it. Yeah, I was playing this for a first red day, and as you can see right here, this is the green to red line. And so I was playing this for a first red day. These are the setups I've really been doing good at, and it was kind of setting up perfectly how I wanted. And so I shorted the bounce to view up. Actually, let me try and view up so you can see that. But Wish is a really hard stock to trade. At the time it was all right, but it's gotten worse even since then. But I was doing good, and I had my stop right into this resistance or a little bit above it, and that was like literally a perfect stop. But it did work in my favor, and my plan was to scale out. So I was covering first at this support. My plan was to cover more down below, but I only got like 30% off at this support, and it ripped back up. But luckily, my stop saved me. It was a tiny little loss, $15. I don't know if that's tiny compared to my wins, but it's like my win rate or my win to loss is like 1-to-1. Like I make
Money doesn't
15,
matter. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm making 15, and losing 15. Like, so that's good. So my next trade, ARAV, this is one of my 2 gains this week. Let this load.
Oh, this trade I actually liked. This is a beautiful trade.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right, so this this is like my first time trading broken day 1 stocks. At the time, I guess now I'm looking at it, it wasn't super broken, but it was pretty broken. So broken day 1 is basically just a stock that, gapped up and ran pre-market and kind of just broke down, lost attention, and there's a lot of trapped longs. So that's another key thing. There needs to be trapped longs for your setup to be high probability. And so as you can see, there's lots of trapped longs above 680. And we got this stuff confirmation. And so after this stuff confirmation, I knew I needed to hit the bounces. And so I hit this bounce, My stop was literally, I think, I don't even remember, but I think it was 7 or 710. It was either 7 or 710. And so I was scared that I was going to get stopped out. But again, it stuffed again because of these trapped longs. And I covered on support and then covered a little bit below. And this was great. This was a great trade because I really squeezed water out of a rock. As you can see, it's like kind of like an all-day fader. It actually was an all-day fader. And I was able to scale out pretty much like a lot of the move. And so that was pretty cool. These are just small amount of shares. I covered most of my size up here, but it's better to take safe profits than be red on a at first green trade. So you don't want to turn a winner into a loser. So you need to lock in profits. My next trade, which was very much like this, OSMT. Let me leave this one up so I can compare them with you guys. So broken day 1 and another broken day 1. They're kind of similar. This one never really broke out of this kind of high over here. Technically 8 is high of the day, but this is kind of a significant resistance at 715. But this one, it kind of ran, and then it broke view up on open. There was no huge confirmation. I mean, it did kind of stuff here, kind of pushed and stuff. And I was actually focused on another play, and I located that other play, which was PIRS. But sadly, this one literally never popped. I was waiting for it to pop to this key support level, because this this key support level, if it broke, it would just unravel, and that's what it did. But I was hoping there was going to be a bounce that I could short into here. My order was literally at 487, and I never got filled. So I switched my focus to OS and T, which was a great short on view up. But this one was a mentally struggling, challenging trade, because I mean, it kind of held after I shorted it, and that was kind of like, I was like, oh shoot, should I just get out all my size, some of my size? I decided to take a lot of my size out here, probably like 60% at support, and then I only had like, I don't know, a little bit of shares left, 10, 20 that I covered right here. And the reason I covered right there was it was a key support. Now, if it did break that, which it did, it should have unraveled, but I mean, it didn't really, so it kind of held up. But I'm glad I covered there, just because it wasn't worth holding through a key support. That was just going to be another headache. But let me talk about this. So MIC teaches that you should go line to line. And what that means is, I'll just use ARAV as an example. You have your resistance line and you have your support line. You want a short resistance, cover support. Like, it seems pretty simple. But right here, as you can see, I literally covered right below the previous support. And that's not something you should do. You should wait to cover until the stock gets to the support. Like, if you're waiting for the stock to break support and then it finally does, it's probably gonna, like, if it's a significant support level, it's probably gonna break down to the next support level. It's not just gonna, like, so I don't know why I put my cover so close to the support line. Next time I need to have it. Yeah, exactly. I did.
We all do.
Because I was just like, oh shoot, I just want this, like, I just wanted to be out really. And so I could have waited for, where I covered initially. And I think this was like 10 shares. I was in 60 shares. This was 10 shares, 10 shares. And then this was like a lot of my shares. So if I had just moved that down this would have been an extra like 15 cents. That's a big difference. And I would have got a way better gain on that one. So I guess that's my whole week. Really awesome. I'm looking to do the same thing and really focus on broken day one stocks, especially now because listed market, like I said, has had a lot of day one gappers that have been really good.
Yeah, Xander, I like how you compared the executions on both of those and how similar they were. That just shows how well you're fitting up with your process. So that's super awesome. All right, so I'm going to go over my trades next. I traded 2 stocks this week. They're both listed stocks. Something I haven't done since when I first started trading without any process was the last time I traded listed stocks. So it's been a while. So I'm going to share my screen here.
This is AEI. This was on last Monday, the 21st. It was a big pre-market gapper. And this is Sam, Testerman, and Xander like to trade broken day ones. This is kind of a broken day one that was trying to repair itself. But as a long bias trader, I was looking for the VWAP reclaim on this. As you can see that 2 times later in the day, it tried reclaiming again and again, and it just failed. So after this, I just stopped watching it for the day. As you can see that it completely faded off and died. But with my specific entry, I got in at 704 as this volume was ramping back up. Stop loss got me out at 690. This just didn't work this time. And as you can see, it barely worked this time, and this time it got stuffed again. So this stop was overall weak. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about that one.
Can I say something actually?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
I remember we talked about this one when you shared about it in the chat room. And some of the things we were talking about is waiting for more of a confirmation that it was actually reclaiming and getting in on a dip after it reclaimed. Because it looks
Oh
like,
yeah, that's right. We did talk about that.
Yeah, it looks like you just had your order like right when it reclaimed, and often in listed stocks, like they wick up, and especially at this point because there's a lot of trapped lungs, which you'll often get with VWAP reclaims, which is fine because I think you're totally right on your thesis where volume was picking up. We're past 10:30, so the algos are able to kick in. Uh, and I think it's a great thesis, but waiting for waiting for it to reclaim and then getting on a dip, that's the best entry. Or even a lot of people
Yeah,
in
buy the higher
MIC,
low.
yeah, a lot of people in MIC actually would have bought in that dip before VWAP. But I mean, it kind of like very bigly, like it rejected that level with a bigger candle, so I would see why you wouldn't want to get in there. But yeah, I think your
Yeah,
thesis
it did, but yeah, I appreciate that. I remember talking about that on Monday, and as the week went on, I was looking more for those dips back to VWAP after it reclaimed, kind of like a breakout pullback type deal. It's kind of the same situation. So as the
yeah.
time went on, I was looking more for that. But yeah, thanks, Andrew. I appreciate that. My next trade was on Emrin. I traded it on Thursday. I traded it a day before its big run. This one was also a reclaim market gapper. This one got stuffed immediately. I had quite a bit of FOMO on this trade, I'm going to be honest. I even got in early. I set my stop loss pretty early, but then it just dumped. I was honestly happy to just be out. And then after the fact, I was like, this trade really wasn't super smart. And then I hung around VWAP for the rest of the day. And then I literally watched this happen in real time. I was late. The reclaim happened later in the day after it was consolidating on VWAP, under VWAP for a few hours. So the ideal entry would have been in here in the 290s. I drew this line and this line. This was the high a day from earlier, and then this was the support level from earlier. And after it rejected the high a day, I would have gotten out in the choppiness between these two lines, and then it just ran a little bit higher and then into after hours. So yeah, I was too early on this one. This new VWAP reclaim setup that I'm starting to like more. The win rate on it isn't super great, but when it does work, it works out really, really well. It's kind of one of those setups where you trade, you lose 2 and then you make a big one, then you lose 3, then you make a big one. As long as you cut your losses quickly, the win will wipe out the losses. So this one doesn't have the greatest win rate, but I just wanted to start trying those this week. So yeah, I didn't actually make any OTC trades this week, but just these 2 listed VWAP reclaims. They both weren't successful, but if I focus on picking the right trades with more of my criteria, that will set me up for better success. So I'm going to come back here really quick. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I just have a few notes that I took. So I missed a lot of plays this week just because I was watching a listed stock and I would take it off my screen and replace it with another one just because it was under VWAP for a long time, not thinking about the possibility of it spiking back a lot longer in the afternoon, spiking up, coming back and reclaiming VWAP later. So am I frozen? Cut.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Turn your camera off and on.
Yeah, should have said that earlier.
It's fine. Good.
Okay, am I good now?
Yep.
Dang it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
All right, back in. So yeah, I just need to keep these stocks that I'm watching on my screen instead of taking them off and replacing it with something else just because I think it's dead for the day. And yeah, so this week has really been a transition phase for me, just adapting to the market and taking all the lessons I possibly can, because I'm never going to be able to find out what setups I like and which ones I don't if I don't try them. So I'm just focusing on trying different setups, finding out what I like and what I don't. And yeah, so that's basically it for my trading. And I do have one more thing that I learned earlier, or I guess I saw it earlier this week, and it was, instead of completely thinking about price action as lines on a chart or breakouts or dip buys or whatever, I want to start putting a bit of an intuitive approach into how I look at the market, meaning thinking of physical buyers and sellers lining up at these certain points in the chart and using that intuitive mindset in order to couple that with my technical analysis to help me better understand completely what I'm seeing. So if I see a stock with huge volume, or going through VWAP or something, I'll look at it thinking that like, oh wow, there's a lot of buyers lining up here, death candle, a lot of sellers lining up here. And I just think like in nature outside of trading, the way that like people think, if you think of it as terms and buyers and sellers and couple that with your technical analysis, that can lead to a little bit increased understanding that that like just to like help you understand what you're seeing on that chart instead of just seeing it as like lines and price action. So I just want to add a bit of an intuitive approach in order to couple that with my technical analysis. So yeah, that was just something I wanted to add. That's it for me.
Yeah, and that's so
Yeah,
something else to
I
add
want,
on to that. Something else to add on to that is Harry Haas. I was talking to him, and he trades purely off of where our longs trapped and where our shorts trapped. And so that's something you can add on to that. Like not I mean you could, so in the moment you could always be thinking of, okay, are buyers doing this, are sellers doing this here? But also think in the past where like, and at this point in the chart we're longs longing or we're short shorting, and you can use kind of like that
Are
knowledge.
shorts covering for
Yeah.
gains, or people taking profits after pre-market, things like that? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely buy, sell, cover, short, whatever. Just getting more of that like bigger picture outside of the chart itself.
yeah, I wanted
Yeah,
to
that's
add
all I
here.
got.
I wanted to add here that Art of War, he always talks about like not taking just the price action as like a candle, just take on that as a people, because
Right.
the reason
Exactly.
why support and resistance works is because the people make
The
it
people
work.
use it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like when the price goes there, people sell, and that's why it like rejects. So yeah, just think of it as people. So
Yep.
so this week I made, as I said earlier, I made 0 trades, but I have some trades that I missed, and I will really want to go over them. So let me share my screen. First stock here is, okay, 1 second. Yeah, WSRC.
RC.
Yeah, that was the big first green day on 22nd. So yeah, so right at the open, I remember seeing this big spike, like just like out of nowhere, and already here, it was what percentage is this? Let's see,
Couple hundred probably.
yeah, like 200%. So like just there, I was like, okay, like it's almost done for me because it's up too much, and this is the problem that I know Lance, he always talks about it, how like we shouldn't care about how much is it, because if the price action is there and the pattern is there, it doesn't matter how much is up. And I also heard I don't remember from who, but he said like the stock is never overextended as long as people are willing to pay the price.
Yep.
So it's not overextended because people are buying it, so they're willing to pay this amount. So that means it is like the actual amount. So we'll see here after the morning spike. This is the perfect pattern that I always look for. So the only reason that I missed it is because it was up too much for me. So see it, the morning spike, then the consolidation, and then this, like you can say wedge.
Descending triangle break.
Yeah, the descending triangle. So yeah, here that was the perfect entry here, about 0.077, like after this break with the volume perk right here. And then here I wrote the indicators. It was the first green day. It had the news catalyst. We can see here. So on the 22nd, we have like 4 of them here. 22nd. Then we had the morning spike, the consolidation, wedge break, and then we had the clear risk here, like 7.5. So there was like a small risk, but then right when it spiked, it looks small on the chart, but in the percentage, it's like 20% here, then another 40 here. So see, I wrote down 700% move from the open to the high here. So obviously I wouldn't have held all this time. So I just, this is the most likely where we would have sold, because you know, I don't trade that much this month, so I 100% would have taken my profits here, because that would have been like 15%. So yeah, that was the one. Oh, also, yeah, the reason why the other reason why I missed is because that was like 10:30 and I was about to leave my house. So I knew that if I bought this, then I need to like wait because I always think like at least an hour, maybe half an hour, but I had to leave, so I wasn't even considering this play. So yeah, that's why I missed this. Then we had the next one. That was on the same day, HPIL. I actually have I actually written a blog post about this on my Profitly. You can see in the link below where I go very deep about this trade. Like I talk about everything, but I'll just quickly go over here. So we had the same. This is also first green day. We had the same morning spike, but then the consolidation here, it was much longer. And this is the other thing is you have to wait for the trigger. Like see this trigger, like it has to be either in the morning or end of the day, because midday there are a lot of fake outs.
Fake
You can
outs, yeah.
even see here. See, this is the trigger here at 40 cents. You see, it's back to 41 and then it's dead because it's midday. There's no any buyers there. So you have to wait for the end of the day, ideally close to the power hour. There's also a multi-week breakout level above. So it was a high day level and then multi-week above. So that was all the indicators were there. This in volume also had news catalyst. So everything was there. And the only reason why I didn't talk because I wasn't at home. Yeah, I had the plan in my mind here because it was the same day. So I left here, but then when I came home, I saw it like played perfectly. So if I were at home, I would have bought here after the trigger at 41, maybe 42. Yeah, but then the risk would be at 39. So this is pretty wide risk. So I would have small position. And then I also, so I have two sells here, but most likely I would have sold here because my like emotional state. But other than that, of course, probably I would have held if I was in this emotional state, because if you know me, like I can't hold through the dips, because as long as it holds my risk. So I would have held through this dip and then sold here because I actually made a new like rule for me, like when the stock makes the move and then it dips and then re-breaks, it should have a good spike, because if it doesn't, then it doesn't have enough fuel in it, so it has to go down. Because if you had like second chance, you don't use your second chance, you don't have a third one. So yeah, it usually drops here. So I wouldn't have sold at the top, obviously. So I would have sold about 48, maybe 47 when it started to like getting weak here. So yeah, and you see even the next day it gapped up, but it doesn't matter because it panicked right away. So yeah, here this was a perfect 15% trade here. And the last one, also I wasn't even watching. I just heard that from Twitter. This was also a nice breakout. Here, yeah, you can see on the daily, it was a nice first move. Then consolidation here, held half of the spike, and then had this big move, big day. They are all pretty sub pennies. Like this month, now especially the
Yeah,
last
sub penny runners.
sub pennies. Yeah, they started to work. Like even though like you have to pay a little more commissions, I think they're like you can
Tradable.
Yeah, tradable.
They're actually
So,
following the rules.
Yeah, surprisingly enough. So you can see on the 50 minute, we have this lines. So this is the beginning of the move. This is the top, and this is the middle. See like how it maybe not perfectly, but it held like half of the spike here. Oh, yeah, it held here, and then it had this pull, and then the trigger here. I'll go closer. Yeah, the trigger here at 41. See, it's little choppy because it's low priced, but it's still tradable. You can see the move in the morning, consolidation, and then this trigger. There was pretty long trigger, and then end of the day break here. So the good entry is here, because if you buy like here, the risk reward isn't that good because you're just maybe not chasing, but you missed the perfect entry. So you have to buy on the trigger before the high day. Yeah, and then you get this big move here. So yeah, this week only this kind of place worked. I haven't seen any other patterns, only breakouts. Yeah, and I'll just also the other good thing is I heard Jack Khaled talk about it. Like you must keep like the recent runners on your watch list. So I have a separate watch list like for when the stock makes a big move, and then I just put it there and like wait for like 3, 4, 5 red days, and then for this price action for this move with the
To
volume.
repeat, yeah.
Mm-hmm. For
So
a second, like for a second move.
so on these kind of like so the play is like a high day break, right? Out of like a consult like a no disposal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So are you willing, like, since you're selling above high day after it breaks, then does that mean
Mhm.
you're usually willing to get in as long as it doesn't already break high day? Like you're willing to get in anywhere in that
Yeah.
range?
Yeah. So this is not a perfect example. This one is. So see how I said that the perfect entry is here, not here. This is where you sell. Yeah, because if you buy here, then you have to the only risk here is the same risk, but this is
Yeah,
too
it's too
wide of a
wide.
risk. Yeah,
Right.
because you can't just risk the dollar amount. You have to risk the key point on the chart.
Yeah.
So if you're, so yeah, like when I was a beginner, I only knew about buying the
The
high
dollar
day.
risk.
Like when it, no, not only that, but like see here, the 43 is the high day. So if that was like 5 months ago, I would have just bought at 43. And even though here maybe I made some money, but the risk reward would be even less than 1-1 maybe. So
Yeah.
you have to buy before the break, yeah. Maybe the win percentage of the pattern isn't like good here. Maybe, no, I don't know the number, but it's not like 90%. But the risk reward, it makes up for the percentage here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, also I have listed one.
The
So
RCH.
as you know, in the previous episode, I said that I track a lot of patterns, and this is one of them. It's called reversal long, or just first green day breakout. I learned it from Gritani.
Gritani
So
and trading tickers
yeah.
too.
So see this big move from like sub 3 to 10. This is a big move, and then after that, you look for the first red day, and then any other day you just look for the potential first green day. So this trade was on 24th. That wasn't a trade. That was a potential trade, potential paper trade. So the idea here to see okay, so to wait for it to set a high, set a high, and then it has to have 5 minutes of consolidation, at least 5 minutes of consolidation, and then here you have to buy the high day break. Like it's different than the other trades. You have to buy right here and risk low day. You have to like size in accordingly to risk this level. So here, if I were to trade, I would have bought at 515 with the risk on 480, and this one actually this one worked nicely. It was about 10% here. So I checked them, but I don't have a lot of examples enough yet to like have some criteria. So I don't know if I would actually took this trade, like if I had all the criteria, but it was a good pattern on the daily. So probably I would have took it. So, yeah, so this was the only listed pattern that I see. Like, also, I look for afternoon breakouts, but I haven't seen this week. So this was a good pattern here. Yeah, this was the only listed. I also look listed like throughout the day. So yeah, but in the morning I usually look at OGC. So this almost was quite a nice one.
I almost nailed
Yeah.
TRCH first red day. That huge red candle, I almost nailed that day. But I was focusing on Wish, my losing trade.
No, it's
That's
okay.
why-
You followed
that's
your
why-
process.
I'll talk about this in open discussion maybe. But one thing I've learned is stock selection is key, like playing the right tickers. I'll talk about it more in the discussion.
Also, I want to say that, so like the ultimate trader that we all will become is we short the first trade day and then we play this pattern. Like we play like all the move.
Yeah.
Like you buy the supernova and then you short the first. Yeah, as the ultimate trader.
Yeah. Alex, I do want to add one more thing. Sorry, Josh, then you can go. I want to say, when you were talking about WSRC earlier, and you were talking about at the height of the day when we thought it was up way too much, and you were talking about what people are willing to pay for the stock that's up there. At the end of the day, we just got to keep this simple, and it's a game of supply and demand. Honestly, if people want to drive this price up, they're going to drive the freaking price up if they want to. If enough people start trading it, it's gonna go up. So it's all a game of supply and demand. We just got to keep it simple. That's why I'm always thinking to myself that I'm not gonna bring any bias into a stock thinking it's overextended. I'm gonna let the chart and the price action show me that it's overextended before I make any assumptions. So yeah, I just wanted to add, I really like that part that you were talking up too much and finding that perfect potential entry right there and planning out your exits. Yeah, that's going to be awesome for the next time it does happen. You're going to be ready to nail it. So 100%.
Yeah, and Alex, if you think it's overextended, what are the chances that short sellers think it's overextended and then they buy it, they cause a short squeeze?
Yeah.
You know, which pushes it up even more.
That's
exactly.
Steven Johnson,
yeah, because you can imagine like you can see here, the people bought the 21. They bought the 21 even though they knew it came from 0.021. So you just like,
I have no idea.
I personally like so if I bought here, right? If I bought right here and I sold here and I made 100%, I wouldn't been happy. Like no way, because this is not this is chasing. You just got lucky. Yeah, this isn't just yeah. I would rather take my small gain here because it works in the majority of the times. But here, you can win once and then lose 10 times. So yeah.
It's kind of like practicing every day for something that's never going to happen, you know? It's like 1 in a million.
All right, so.
All right, Josh, you can go ahead.
First, this is my trade from last week, which was a 3-figure loss, which to me was detrimental. So I thought it was going to spike because of the chart and the daily. This was semi-resistance on RSHN, and it just failed immediately. So I tried getting out, but I don't remember exactly what happened, but I just couldn't get a fill, you know. I tried selling in a weakness, didn't get filled till here, and good thing I did, you know. I went all the way down here and then kind of consolidated all day. But this week, I'm only paper trading, and I traded HPIL twice. So this was, I believe, Friday, yeah. So this, Steve Nissen talks about in his candlestick course called a high wave candle, meaning it's time for a reversal, most likely. So I got in here, and I rode it up all the way until another high wave, and I sold for a nice like 8% profit. And then I bought later because I was watching it consolidate, grind up, consolidate, grind up. And then I got in here, risking the break of this support right here, resistance turn support on this doji. And then I sold because I didn't know if this was strong resistance or not because of the level 2. And yeah, hindsight, I should have just bought again at the dip here, same level, and ride it up. But you know, I already bought it twice. I didn't want to test my luck because I was 2 for 2 on the day. And yeah, that was basically it for this week. Next week, hopefully I can paper trade more different patterns and things like that, you know, because if I don't try, I won't know what I'm good at.
Right. Josh, I do want to add something to what you just said. So knowing you as a trader, it sounds like to me like dip buys are your favorite setup. Is that right?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So this in HPIL, this example right here, do you see how like literally perfectly that is fitting up and down in that channel in the middle of the day? It'll go like up and it'll perfectly go down. That in between that channel is awesome, dude. And once you get more like comfortable with these dip buys, you'll be able to nail both of those dip buys and take profits right before that next resistance level up there. Because you'll be like, I already saw this earlier in the day, and if it happens again, I'll be completely ready for it, you know? So that's
Yep.
just what I want to add.
Same buyers probably here too. And hindsight, this
Yeah.
was a higher low, which ended up leading
Yeah.
to this grind up here.
Yeah, it's a
And
beautiful
Yeah.
chart.
right here, yeah.
It's like a bow style, right?
Yeah, well, like MIC always
Mhm.
says, like trade line to line, buy the support, sell the resistance, you know, risk a little bit below
Yeah, I
that
did that
support.
here, but
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it looks
hindsight,
good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exact
And
line to line right there.
I
That's
didn't have to
awesome.
worry about fees or anything with paper trading, so I should take this 3-4 times, and then once my account is big enough
Mhm.
where the fees won't matter, you know, I could just buy this as many times as possible.
Right. That's what I need Alex to keep drilling into my ear that fees don't matter. Sometimes when I'm trading if I'm looking at trading a sub penny OTC, I said it the other day. He was like, dude, HPL, look at it. It's such a good setup. And I'm just like, do I really want to spend $20 on commissions on this?
Exactly.
And he's like, dude, don't think about
like,
that.
"Don't
Get
worry
that out of your
about
head.
it."
I'm like, yeah, Alex, you're right. You know what? You're right. I can't put that in my mind. So yeah.
And the thing is with sub pennies is the fills also. Like, who knows?
True.
Maybe if I traded this in real life, I wouldn't get filled.
I want to add here about.
Right. Yeah.
fees.
See, you never know.
When I
This
add
one was
about
more
fees,
liquid though.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we could hear you.
Yep.
I
You're good.
want to add about fees. So, there's one guy from Twitter. His name is Garik, and he
Garik.
always trades these sub-penny breakouts. And I once asked him about the commissions, and he said that I think in 2020 or like a few months he made like $3,000, and 2,000 of them were commissions.
Jeez.
Like yeah, it's terrible, but if you think of that, if you just size up like he right now, I think he's like you know, when you're learning and then you're trading and like you're finding the consistency, so he found it, and now he just needs
Now
to
he's
size
beginning
up.
to size up.
He
Yeah.
just needs the time to size up, and then when he size up, then the commission won't matter for him. So yeah, right now it sucks. Yeah, it's hurts. Like when I heard that like it's more than 70%, more than 50%, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's why I'll
I
just
thought,
paper trade sub pennies.
Yeah, I thought when I was going to listed markets, I would be escaping the fees, but then I started shorting.
Short locate fees.
They're not
Overnight
that
fees.
bad. They're not that bad. So usually they're like $3, $4 for 100 shares, and then
On E-Trade?
Oh, that's a breeze.
On Trade Zero.
Now imagine OGC shorting.
Oh my gosh,
For
that sounds
small
like a
accounts.
nightmare.
People used to short pumps back in the day on OTCs, so I mean, probably isn't too bad
Yeah, definitely.
for their account size.
Yeah, Xander, just be careful of overnight fees if when you start learning overnight patterns.
I am never
'Cause
holding
those can
overnight.
get
Like
you too.
seriously, that is one strategy MIC does not teach. I mean, it's so random, especially like on OTCs. I totally get it,
Yeah.
but listed, I feel like it's so much more random.
Yeah. And Xander at
Oh, yeah.
California time, waking up at 1
Yeah,
a.m.
I remember.
or just staying up.
Oh,
you know, staying up all night when pre-market opens.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I remember when I was paper trading, I held one listed overnight, but like of course it wasn't real money, so I didn't care. But if I hold right now listed, the market closes at 8, right? 8 p.m.
Oh
So
my
all the
gosh.
time, I will be just watching there's like
The after hours.
I can't leave knowing that people are still buying and selling this stock. So that's why only if I like, even maybe in the future I will, but OGs are better for overnights, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I'll
now, but still.
Yeah, I'll be going back to OTC when I can hold overnight on strong days and panic dip buys. I can't wait just to like, oh, I'm gonna drop by.
Just buy the dip and sell the rip. Simple as that.
Yeah, Xander, let me get you a little news flash. It might be a
just...
while before we get these strong first green.
might have to
Yeah,
wait till
I'm not in a
December.
rush. I'm not in a rush. I don't want too much on my plate right now.
He'll be just trading his pattern, so then just 5 minutes late, 5 minutes left. Bye. 2 OGC first green with news. Gap out 10% on both of them.
Would you, Xander, when you do long, are you gonna long trade from trade zero also?
No, because I'm actually, so I made a decision myself. I'm gonna start longing here and there, and I still have E-Trade, so I'm just gonna do it through E-Trade. And the reason is
Okay.
because shorting, I only have three day trades, and I'll soon have 6 day trades. But I think like with shorting, I've also learned so much more about the long side, and I see so many long opportunities that I'm just missing. And I mean, I love how on long you get good risk
Yeah, same as
reward.
a long.
Yeah, and I mean, I just like the something Bao always says is a long trade is always good as long as you have a stop loss, like a good risk reward. And so that's why I love it. Like I can, like if I'm wanting to play a stock that has like, 1 to 10 risk reward or something, you can get that on long side. Like if I'm wanting to play something crazy like that, I could just take it, and I'll be profitable. So I just want to like start learning some of the long, I mean, I know all the long setups. I just need to start practicing them. And I can use super small size because there's no fees.
Yeah.
Right.
Buy the bounce, like what Bao says. Bounce, BAO.
Oh yeah, the first bounce.
Yeah, Xander, I think it'll be awesome once you start doing that, adding more tools to your arsenal and just adapting to what the market's giving you. If you're like, okay, yeah, I'll short this, and then all of a sudden, oh, nice, long play, let me get in on this. That'll be like being able to hybrid short and long. Dude, so many traders freaking want to do that their entire career, and a lot of them still can't do it. So
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
what's really going to help is in MIC, everyone shares their plans. And so for shorting, I mean, I'm listening to MIC and I'm incorporating my own plans. But with longing, I'll lean more towards Harry Haas. He's like the best longer in MIC. He's like a god. So I'm going to lean in on his plans and really focus on what he's doing. And I mean, yeah, I'm just going to be looking at what he's doing and trying to replicate it.
I like his Twitter page. A lot of good motivation on Harry Haas's Twitter page. For anyone who wants to go look for some motivation on Twitter, go look up Harry Haas and like those. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, so should we get into open discussion? I mean, I guess we kind of already started.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say I
did.
didn't even bother wanting to introduce open discussion. I guess I'll say now we're in open discussion. We've been for a few minutes. We're just gonna keep discussing, and then later in a little bit we'll get into our plans for the week. So yeah, we're still in open discussion right now.
Oh well,
okay. If no one has anything else.
No, I have.
Alex, go ahead.
I'm going after the Harry Haas. He had a pin. It is a very powerful, and he says like it takes 11 to 14 years to become a doctor, 7 years to become a lawyer, and 8 to become a dentist. And then you think a few years of hard work to become a consistent trader is too much. Like this is so powerful because
just put it in perspective.
Yeah, because people just think they like. I don't say I was like that, but I was a little like that. I thought like I could just hop in here and make money. Like
we all thought, I'm sure, at a second.
Well, I wasn't like in the first year, but I said like in the first year I will make some money, but turns out I won't make anything. But mindset and knowledge is more than anything, especially in the first like 2 years. So yeah, we just even college is like 4 years, 5 years. So even if it takes 4 years to become a consistent profitable, it's fine.
It's worth it
because you're gonna make more money than doctors, lawyers, and dentists all together. So yeah.
People like think it's so easy to make money in the market and happens so quick because the money's literally like right there. Like you can literally practically grab it. But with a doctor, with a doctor lawyer, you know that you have to go to college for years and years, and then you're gonna start making money. It's not like you can decide to become a doctor and start making money in college. It's not like that. It's the same thing for trading. You're not gonna be able to make money in the same day, even though it's like right in front of you.
It's like what Tim Sachs always says. He's like, when you're first year medical like student, you're gonna go like make this like heart surgeries.
Yeah,
because those they make the most money. Yeah, and you won't be able to do it in your first year. So say something here. But if you try, then you're gonna kill the person or lose all your money.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about really quickly was stock selection, and I think this is really important. And I mean, I feel like so MIC they have really emphasized this, and it's like you want to pick the stocks that first have your setup, but you also want them to be easy to play. Some stocks like Wish are super hard, like they're high market cap, which I mean just brings on a new, like it's not my niche. I need to stay in with stocks that I'm comfortable with. Even though my setup is there on Wish, I know that it likes to trap more. There's a lot of volume. A lot of people are watching it, which is not what I want as a short seller. I want no one watching the stock, like a broken day one, which is why I like them to work. But stock selection for your specific setup is really key. And so I just wanted to say that, like, start thinking about, is this ticker going to be easy, or is it going to be super hard because of X reasons?
Yeah, definitely. That's especially important because 6 out of the 7 of us in our next gen trader group are under PDT still, and we only get a certain amount of trades. Except for Sam H, who's not in here, but you guys will talk to him more about his over PDT experience. And
I'm excited. I'm excited to see, because me and Sam are like the same. I think we're like around the same skill level. Like we've all been like learning exactly the same things. Especially in MIC. Like when he watches a video, he sends it to me and I watch it. Like we're literally the same person. And so I want to see how he like, if he goes further than me or behind me being over PT. Maybe it'll be worse or maybe it'll be better. And I'm excited to see, like, and I'm also going to be able to learn from him being able to trade more. So I'm excited.
Doesn't matter who excels first. We'll just all pull each other up.
Right.
And then that first person will pull up everybody, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it's like Jack and Kyle. Like Jack made like 7 times more, but they're still the same level.
Poor Matt, he's only over 2 million. Like, you know,
right.
he's not happy. Only 2 million.
Yeah, and you can't think about trading as a competition, because then you're bringing a competitive mindset into an area where you have to learn how to lose in order to be successful, like we were talking about in the last episode. And Alex, earlier, I like how you brought up the quote from Harry that he pinned, like saying like it takes 11 years to do this, 8 years to do this, and you don't want to work 2, 3, 4 years to become a consistently profitable trader. The thing is, most people aren't willing to do that extra work in order to do what they love. You have to love the game, dude. You have to love trading. Like you really have to. I mean, some people can get by and just do it like for fun, but in the end, I think we all love trading. And that's like the thing that's going to be like, okay, yes, I get to keep working harder and harder and harder because I genuinely love what I'm doing, not because I want to make money and be financially free. All those things are definitely a factor, but the fact that we love what we're doing, and obviously we all know the quote that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So that's that's what we're all aiming towards in the future. So
yeah,
sorry, Josh, go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh yeah.
Or Xander, go ahead.
Oh well, Josh had something to say.
No, you go. I was just commenting on what he said.
Oh well, I mean, I forgot what I was gonna say.
So I want to say that the reason why people don't put enough work is because trading is like an optional thing. Like you don't have like when you go like to the college to become a doctor, you have like assignments to do, like all the stuff. You have professors, but here you don't have anything. It's like you versus you.
Yeah, nobody's pushing you and all that. Nobody's telling you to wake up early.
Yeah, and you need to have the passion. Yeah, you need to have a passion for the game, or when the tough times come, you're just gonna quit.
Right.
So.
It's like you have like the angel and the devil here, and the devil is like
exactly.
let's do like other things. Like the devil here, this was the bad guy that affected me this month. So I'm gonna try to listen to the angel this month.
But yeah, if you guys don't have anything else to say, we can get into making our plans for the week and just voicing our opinions on our plans. So if you guys want to do that, we can.
Sure.
Dan, you want to start us off?
Yeah. So I mean, again, I see this every single week. It's because I follow the process so well so far. I mean, I haven't deviated from it. I'm just going to be watching for, specifically this week, day one gappers, because I've 2 for 2 on them. They're fair. They're pretty high probability. Not as much as some of the other setups I'm playing, but the risk reward is there, especially because I know how to identify an all day fade, which I forgot. I guess I will talk about that in the next episode. but I'm focusing more on next week, I guess, my specific entries and exits on these plays. And I mean, I'm just looking for movers that fit my setup pretty much.
Awesome. Short, sweet, to the point. I haven't made my watch list yet, but I'm going to make it in a few hours. I'm still adapting well, kind of tag teaming the OTC listed market conditions, or both OTC and listed markets, seeing what I can get from both of them. And for me, this week, my main focus is going to be focusing on selecting the best trades with my setups, because I see so many. I'm just going to focus on trading the ones that I select as the best, and just leaving the kind of more mediocre ones behind. So once I select the best trades with my setups, then I think that's going to be a turning point for me. So that's all I got.
Yeah, for me, I don't have any specific stocks. I just look for the overall trend. Like there are some there are some big movers worth watching for panics, but not to debuy obviously in this market. So I'm just watching for like new stocks, maybe like HPIL is watching for new stocks, and then potentially for the next
Multi-day
week.
runners.
Yeah. Multi-day runners. Yeah. So yeah, just as I always say, just react, don't predict. Yeah.
Definitely.
You want to go, Xander?
Oh, I already went.
It's your turn, Josh.
So I'll just share my screen real quick. So CYBL, hold on, let me just minimize this. Okay, so CYBL looks pretty solid for next week. Maybe we get a dip here, morning panic or something. SNCR.
Wait, Josh, one second. Can you put the daily up on CYBL for a second? Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you go back to CYBL and put up the daily?
That's the one that I was talking about, right? It's a multi-day break.
Yeah, this is what you're talking about. Okay, so
It's a multi-day break, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely on watch. Powerful for screen day. So SNCR, this is also gapping pretty big. If it keeps this, holds this over, I don't see why it can't run to past 450, maybe in the 470s or 80s. And then I'll switch to the minute chart here, or 5-minute chart for PHIL for fill. This can definitely break this high right here if it closed near high a day. And same with HPIL also. Close near high a day, this could gap up and not be a sub penny anymore, So yeah, those are the watches I have for at least tomorrow. Chances are some of these like CYBL could run for a few days,
Mm-hmm. Wait, so Josh, do you usually use 5-minute charts, or do you use 1 minute?
I use 1 minute, and then like after the market closes, 5 minutes. I use 5 minutes to check pre-market and after hours too.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. That might be a good idea, actually. I should look into that, using 3 and 5 minutes more, because I only usually look at 1 in the daily. So
yeah,
I know
that's what I do when I split my screen midday,
mm-hmm.
while during trading hours. Yeah,
I know that again, Arthur, he when he's in the trade, he uses the 2-minute chart. When he's in the trade, watches every tick, he uses 2-minute chart. I personally use 1-minute chart, and when I after the close, Josh, when I look at the patterns, the multi-day runners, I use 15-day, 15-minute, and 15-day.
Well, 15-day, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and also 15-day, 5 minutes, and the same thing.
Yeah, I use 1 minute, 3 minute, 15-minute, and daily. But
yeah, daily.
I use 1 minute for specific entries, sometimes the bounce doesn't even show up on the 3-minute. But right. I'm using 1 minute for entries and exits, and 3 minutes are mid trade, so I don't get scared out of little movements. That's what I do.
Yeah, so you have more patience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
And also I know that Jack Kellogg, he uses one weekly charts sometimes.
But he swings.
Yeah. Wow.
I saw that.
Trader.
Yeah, but as a long, I only use 1, 5, 15, and the daily.
Mm-hmm, same.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I feel like I would get too much anxiety if I have too big of a time frame. I like seeing every little tick up and down, being able to
Exactly.
analyze every little part of the trade that I'm in because
Do you know
I
that
mean, a
there's
weekly
way-
chart's obviously a swing, but if I'm using a 5-minute chart, a lot happens in 5 minutes, you know? So
Do you know that there's some people who use 30-second charts, even less?
Yeah, I know those
I
people
know
are
that.
crazy.
1 second
Nah.
charts. There's a
No.
platform
Those
that
people
does
also
it.
have like hotkeys that get in and out really quick,
But
and they
Yeah.
just
yeah,
scalp
this
for
is
like
like the
Slam,
0.05%.
slam.
ultimate
Yeah, control
scalp
E, enter,
strategy.
control.
It's like some fork scalp strategy.
Mhm.
30-second
Unlimited
chart.
trades too, unlimited entries and exits. Like if there were still
Mhm.
fees, they wouldn't be doing that.
Oh yeah,
They're just taking
definitely.
advantage of it.
Awesome.
I guess that were all our watches for the next week.
Yeah.
Yep, I think
Mhm.
that's it. Honestly, this was like a really good episode. Probably one of my favorite. I don't know why. I
Honestly,
just
every episode
really,
is a great one.
yeah. But this one, I just
Everyone.
feel like this
Every-
one we all had really
One day we'll get
good
all 7 of us.
analytics. Yeah, yeah.
That'll
Well,
be the best one.
yeah.
Wait, which one, Josh? Which would be the best one?
When
That's
we
So
all,
there's all 7 of us.
Oh,
And we'll go
yeah.
over like, yeah, so this was my 6-figure trade on
Oh.
HPF or whatever.
Nice one.
my
hey,
first,
hey, hey,
yeah,
process
biggest
over
one.
profits. We'll get there. We'll get there someday.
Xander, you'll be like, I swung TRCH overnight,
Oh my
6
gosh.
figures. 6
Sounds
figures
like a
short. I
nightmare.
covered around here.
Alex will be like, yeah, I held a sub penny from 0.001 to 0.009. I'm selling right here, boys.
That'll be the best
But yeah.
episode.
Yeah, that'll be funny. But yeah, this was a great episode. I agree, Xander. A lot of useful information in here. Everyone can take something from every single thing that we've said. So, I mean, yeah, that's an awesome one. Xander, if you want to take us out with the outro, go right ahead.
Yeah, sure. So everyone be sure to drop a like, comment your best lesson on this episode, and also let us know what type of trader you are. So are you on listed market, OTCs, what's your favorite setup and stuff like that, because we like connecting with all you traders. And
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, this is a great episode. I can't wait to rewatch it because I think we all have had really good analysis on our trades.
And also, if you have any ideas, maybe you should
Yeah, if you
go
guys have
over
any
some.
ideas, because we're looking to expand just from this episode, just from these like weekly episodes, like trying other things. So if you guys have any ideas, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, definitely. We're looking
yeah.
for like 1 to 2 smaller like videos in between the week, and we'll still keep these episodes up, but we're looking to add like 1 or 2 little subcategory type deals. So if you guys
Yeah.
have any recommendations, be sure to drop them below.
Yep. Cool. Well, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
In the next month.
All right, guys. Cheers.
Bye.
Yeah.